Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source. We help contractors build great teams. My guest today is Aaron Christy from, I'm going to get this right, Indy Roofing Restoration, right?
Yep, Indy Roof Restoration.
Okay, so I'm having Aaron on because he's been very successful at marketing, and marketing is a big issue for a lot of the people that we deal with. So, Aaron, tell me about your background, what you do, and what worked.
Yeah, so I actually started in not in the construction space. I started working for my family's business doing sales and marketing right out of high school. And I did that for 16 years. And I started as a sales rep, but I was a traveling sales rep and I would have to go meet with a lot of people across the country. And
What was the
it's
company? Just curious. What did they sell?
Distance Learning Systems. It was a educational publishing company which helped LPNs and LVNs transition to their RN.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would have to travel across the country and go meet people in like a hotel room and do presentations. And I had to spend an hour and a half doing these presentations, whether there was one person in the room or 30 people in the room. And you're away from your home and your family.
Right.
So naturally, you want as many people as possible to be in there to make it worth your time
Right.
away. So I really started, that's kind of when I fell in love with marketing, because I was like, all right, how do I think outside the box? How do I get more people into this room and fill it up? So my time is well spent on these trips away. And I did that for 16 years and then decided to go out on my own and ended up just kind of completely randomly in the roofing space. And yeah, and it's all the same stuff that I learned from that business pretty much applies over to this business.
So, I've been trying to pitch this to contractors for years, is that the most successful companies in the US, at least, or in Canada, are marketing companies that fund their marketing with some kind of product or service.
For
And
sure.
if you can actually make that transition, I don't care if you're a remodeler, a home builder, whatever, if you say, okay, I'm a marketing company, I'm going to fund my marketing with a product or service, it's a different mindset than, well, I'm selling widgets or I'm selling, remodeling. I guess I got to do some marketing, so I'll throw something at the wall and see what sticks, which generally doesn't work. So, what have you done and what works for you?
So it's funny that you say that, because we've always joked around as a whole and said we're a sales and marketing company that happens to do roofs.
Right.
Um, and so, I first got in this. I think everybody's probably along this term. I got in it to support my family originally.
Hmm.
And I went through a lot of different, because I wasn't coming from the construction world. I felt like I had a huge learning curve, and we went through, and I was trying to learn as much as humanly possible. I went to, all the conventions and YouTube videos and all these different things. But one thing that really started working well is the little things, right? The consistency and doing the same things every day. And I took this little class, it was like $50 to learn how to build your Google Maps. At the time, it was Google Maps.
Right.
Now it's Google Business Profile. But how to manage that and really accelerate that. And it was like 5 or 6 different things, which was, make sure there's keywords in it. Make sure that you are getting reviews, positive reviews, and then responding to them. Making sure that you're doing an update once a week. It was like Google's like a social media, basically. Like you do these weekly updates to let them know that you're active and you're current. And then it had things even down to as little as when you're driving to the office, go on and click directions and like actually get the directions to the office. It's like another tiny thing that made it seem like,
Right.
people are looking for you when they're driving to your business. And I just did that consistently. And what was weird was I looked at it, this was in 2018. There were 2 businesses. After about a year, I looked and I was just asking every single person I worked with for a review. On top of that, some people had multiple people I could ask, like if I was helping with a real estate transaction. there was a buying realtor, a selling realtor, a buyer and a seller, so you're bound to get, at least a couple out of that. Um, and then even I went even further with, I would ask for reviews for people that didn't need a roof. Like I would go out and I would do a full inspection, full photo report. I would give them the report and say, hey, look, everything's great. There's no damage here. Like it's in great shape. And then I'm like, man, I just spent, an hour and a half of my time doing that. I performed a service. I'm just not
Right.
getting paid for it. So I started asking those people for reviews. And before I knew it, about a year in, I had about 200 reviews or so. And so then I started looking, and the top people in our state, in my area, had like 300 reviews and then 400 reviews. And
Right.
I was already mid 200s.
Right.
And I think it's just being very adamant about asking every single person. So next thing I know, I'm past them, about 2 years in. And so now I'm like the number one location on Google, like as far as like 5 stars, I had the most reviews. And then I think the landscape shifted and everybody saw that. And then everybody started going up, and
Right.
those top 3 companies were kind of like moving up like this over the next while. So that I will still contribute is one of the biggest things to putting me on the map, is just being very diligent and asking every single person for those reviews and responding to them. And that got me more traction, I think, than anything. But the kicker is you don't see it for the first couple months, right? You don't see it for the first 6 months. So it's one of those things where people are like, oh man, I'm asking every person, I'm not seeing anything from it. But when it hits, it snowballs. And next thing you know, like you're very, very ingrained into this. And next thing I know, a year and a half in, I'm the number one guy. So yeah, man, it's just about being very intentional.
Okay. Now with AI, I guess Google's changed a few of the algorithms, like keywords aren't as
Yeah,
important as they used to be. And my understanding, and this may be accurate or not, is that AI does a better job of researching the company than people used to, because it used to be keywords, and if you knew how to play the game, you
yeah,
could get on top because you were just good at playing the game. Now
yeah.
AI is getting smarter and it's actually digging into the website, it's doing research that it hasn't done before, and it's probably recommending the best guy versus the guy who throws the most money at keywords.
Correct. Yeah, and so they're moving. So it was search engine optimization, and then it shifts every year. Like Google changes what's important. In the last few years, it has been reviews has been a huge ranking factor. But what I'm gathering now from AI is it's more of almost going to an SBO, which is like a search branding optimization. And it's what's out there for your branding, like your reviews, what things are you doing within the community, all of these things that you get naturally from being involved and around in good customer interaction. And that's, I think, where it's going. It's still constantly evolving because
Right.
AI is becoming, mainstream every day now, and there's a lot of changes that are coming in, but that seems to be the way that it's going.
Now, are some people searching on ChatGPT, not just Google these days?
Yeah, actually, a funny story. My Google Chrome browser, I actually have to type in google.com for Google to come up. If
Mhm.
I just type in something, it actually goes to my ChatGPT browser instead.
I
So
see.
yeah, but even within Google, on a lot of things, not everything you search for, but a lot of the stuff you search for, it's now ChatGPT's responses or
Yeah,
AI's
it's AI
response.
and then it goes from
AI,
that.
yeah.
Right, right. So you've been successful. Sort of outline your in whatever 50 word your marketing plan, what you do and how it works.
So I built my company there. So there's a lot of different ways to do things. You can, just buy leads and pay for all these different things and go through everything, via a paid source. I chose to network and build relationships. We did that a lot with insurance agents and real estate agents. And
Hmm.
so it's funny, like I actually, when I first started the company, I was like, I just kind of had it as a side thing. And I was like, I don't know, because I dipped my toe in it with a friend of mine. And I was like, well, whenever somebody calls me about a roof, I'll run it through there. And then we had a storm, August 28th of 2018. Never forget the date. And I was like, wow, it's a pretty gnarly storm. Let me do a little marketing here and see what I can do. And I pulled up all the main real estate websites and all the local websites. And if you go to each branch, it normally has all of the realtors on them and then their
Mhm.
cell phone number. I sat there and went through like 5 real estate companies and all their branches and text every single one of them. So it wasn't long phone calls. It was literally a text that I had copied and pasted
Right.
that said, hey, my name's so-and-so. This is what I do. There was a huge storm. Here's a map of it. If you got any listings in these areas, give me a call. And I text about, I think, around 2,000 realtors or so. And
There's
I
a lot of
got
texting.
yeah, it's a lot of texting, but I got a bunch of responses. I had like 14 inspections the next day, and then they started passing my information out, and that's kind of like what jump started my career. And then I started seeing, hey, there's stuff to this, and then we kind of found ways to be different, right? And every single person at a company is typically coming to another company and saying, hey, when you need something, call me. Hey, when
Right.
you have it, which I hear, hey, if you have something for me, give it to me. And we're like,
Right.
well, how do we provide value for these people where it's like, hey, I'm giving you this, and then in return, I can get this.
Right. So we do the same thing here. I mean, when I'm dealing with contractors, I use architects. If I'm
Yeah,
dealing with our company, I use affiliates, like coaching companies and marketing company stuff. So the referral from a trusted advisor is huge.
right,
And the
right.
question is, how do you develop, first, how do you identify the trusted advisors in whatever business you're in? And
Yep,
then how do you get to them? And then how do you have them develop a relationship with them? I mean, the way I've done it, i.e. this podcast, I do a podcast, I meet people that are, coaches and stuff for construction companies. They refer me in as a recruiting company. But I did with architects. If you're a contractor, if you know all the right architects, you can get a lot of work that way. Now, if you're a roofer, obviously insurance companies, real estate people that when their roof has a problem, they go to and ask for advice, right?
right. Yeah. It's funny. My
And so,
wife's oh,
right.
sorry, go ahead.
How do you, so one, how do you identify the people, and then how do you keep the relationship going?
Um, Well, I think I mean it depends on your industry, right? On identifying the people. I think it'll happen organically if you're around long enough in business, like some sort of business is going to come to you at some point. In my industry, it's an insurance agent or a realtor, or something along that line. Like they'll eventually come to you with this problem that you can help them solve. But then what we do as far as like keeping the relationship going, as an example, right? With real estate agents. And on, hey, whenever there's a deal that's going through and the inspection happens, and they find a bunch of stuff wrong with the roof, and then everybody's scrambling, trying to get an
Right,
insurance claim in or get the roof done, closing gets pushed back, all of this stuff. Uh, I said, instead, anytime you're going to list a property, anytime, call me. We'll go out and look at it. We'll inspect it. Let's say hypothetically, we find storm damage. We can file a claim in plenty of time. And then maybe it's new roof, new gutters, new siding, whatever's damaged. And now instead of listing the property for 250 grand, you're listing it for 280 grand. And,
right,
you're not going to get jammed up at closing. If there's
right,
not any problems, I'll write you up a full report. When you get to that closing, they almost always ask to have the roof inspected. You go, I already have, here's the full report. We're
right.
good to close. So you're covered either way. And then we do the same thing on the back end. If you're a buyer's agent, we can look at trying to find damages so that they can get instant equity, things like that.
Right.
So we're providing value to you, which is one, going to bring your client more money, which will make your commission go up. It'll avoid issues at closing. So things like that is
So basically,
providing.
you're solving the problem of the advisor, right? And then
Yeah.
what about, I hear you can do aerial roof inspections. How does that system work? I hear amazing things about that. Is it useful?
Aerial roof inspections.
I mean, like you can go on some website and and you can see a picture of the roof, right?
You can't. So you get roof reports. And so
Right.
like I can actually put in the address and it'll pull every measurement on there. And it's not something that you can really do inspections from or anything yet, at least anyway. You never know with technology.
But you can get a shot, an aerial shot of the roof, right?
Yeah, you can see it. You can do that from Google Earth, which is surprisingly accurate, by the way, for like measurements.
I see.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I mean that's one of those things that come into play where you go through and we use the measurements every single day because what we do is we'll get the measurements and have everything ready for when we go to a property. So if there is an issue, we have it already right there and can talk to them about
Okay. Now, this is, since you seem Mr. Tech Guy, how do you think AI is going to affect marketing over the next, 6 months or so? Because it's changing all the time.
Yeah, I think I mean one, I think it already is. You can build out a lot of different things. I still think some of the voice AI agent stuff has a ways to go. It's being used. We've used a voice AI agent, which we had some bailout higher than normal because people don't want to talk to an AI agent, right? It's
Right.
like when you're sitting on hold and they got you going through all of this stuff.
Right. Right.
It's like
Right.
just
Yeah.
human, give me a person,
Give me a person,
operator.
right?
Yeah, operator. So we had some bailout on it, but I mean it's pretty fresh technology for the wide consumer, right? Like AI's been
Right.
around for a long time, but it's just now become mainstream. And it's one of those things where like just that in 6 months or a year, like you could literally be having a conversation with somebody and have no idea that it's AI. I think
Right. You won't be able to
pretty soon.
tell.
Yeah, pretty soon,
Yeah,
right?
like, right. You're like soon.
And they're
So,
already doing outbound calling with it too.
oh, they are doing they're doing outbound, and it's working in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give, let's say the people listening to this podcast, you're a marketing guy, which went into roofing, which is really good. Most people are roofing guys that go into marketing. If you had three pieces of advice, to give to the audience here about if you're going to do three things in marketing, these are the three things you need to do before you do anything else. What would they be?
I would say I would lump marketing and AI together, right? I
Okay.
would say so not necessarily just for marketing, but AI as a whole, I truly believe is the future. My daughter just went to college. I said, get in an AI club until you can get AI classes. Like it's going to be running the world. But like as an example for this, we created a custom GPT with specific rules
Right.
that I made in probably about 45 minutes. And now I've adjusted it a few times and I probably got a total
Mhm.
of 7 or 8 hours in it now.
Right.
Now, when my sales guys are done, they make their estimate. We used to have somebody that hand checked every single thing to make sure all the materials were right, everything's right, etc. They drop the roof report, the photos, and the estimate in there, and it gives it a pass or fail and runs it. And we cut back like 80% of this guy's job to open him up to other stuff now. So
Right.
AI,
Okay.
yeah,
So AI, learn and know AI in marketing and in general. Okay. That's
yes,
first.
learn and know AI, manage your Google business profile like it is your absolute tree of money, like it's your lifeblood.
Hmm.
Because even with the AI stuff like that, all that stuff's extremely valuable. Ask every single person for reviews, offer a discount for it for something like literally
Right.
anything, like get those reviews because people only want to leave reviews without asking when they're mad. So you're getting a
Right.
very skewed vision if you're
Right.
not asking people for the positive ones. Um, and so those two things I think alone can shape somebody's entire business. And if I had to pick a third one, I would just say be open to trying things. I always had a thought process where I'm like, hey, I would see something and they'd be like, this may work, or they're always pitching you something.
Right.
And you don't have to try every single person that pitches it, but like a general concept of like, let's say cold
Right.
email outreach.
Let's try and see if it works. Yeah.
Let's try it. It's worth $1,000 to me to know rather than look at this stuff for the next 15 years or people are constantly
Right. And so give
just
it a shot.
barraging me.
So when
Yeah,
people approach something, whether it's, we're going to do texting or cold calling or emails, give it a shot, right? Be open to new ways of doing things.
Yeah, I'm a think outside the box kind of guy. Like, how do I get in front of people? How do I, and there's a lot of people like that. And there's a lot of people that have really good stuff that maybe they're not the best marketing people. Otherwise it would be everywhere, right?
Right,
Um, or it's very niche. So like look around, don't just do the same things, be open to finding new things all the
right,
time. And it's a constant evolving status. The same things that were working when I started this business are not working right now because a
right.
bunch of people started doing them.
It's changing. And I'm going to add a fourth one, and that is find out who the trusted advisors are in your industry, who's
Yes.
referring your business to them, whether it's realtors, architects, and identify who they are, solve a problem they have, and develop a relationship with them.
The last part of what you said is the most important part. It's don't go to them with a give me, give me, give me. Go to them with a problem that you're solving or helping their life and making their life easier. And in return, why wouldn't they use you? Because
Right,
you're doing this for them.
right. So I would say solve the problems of your trusted advisors, and it'll come back to you manyfold. Cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Aaron, I appreciate being here. Whatever, this is applicable to anybody in the construction industry. If you're trying to sell stuff, this is what works. And Aaron's unique because he was a salesperson before he was a roofer. Most people are roofers before they're salespeople. And so they have to learn what you've learned. And I think that's why you're very successful. So, Aaron, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot for the advice.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. It was a good time.
Thank you.